Babylon to Jerusalem. The world trembled under the weight of a ruthless empire. Kings ruled with an iron fist, and in their palaces of gold and blood, whispers of prophecy echo through the darkness. A kingdom will fall, scrolls warn. A stone not cut by human hands will rise. But no one believed. The gods of Babylon reign supreme. The God of Israel, forgotten. His people, scattered, broken, silent. And yet, a single dream changed everything. A dream that no wise man could explain. Fear gripped the mighty.
Bring me the magicians, the astrologers, anyone who can tell me what I saw.
The king's voice thundered through the halls.
Or I will tear them limb from limb.
In the midst of this terror, the young Hebrew captive, Daniel, stood still. Reveal what no man can see,
And I will ask the God of heaven.
There is a God in heaven. He stood before the throne, knowing one mistake meant death. Daniel the movie. Daniel was just a captive. A young Hebrew, stripped of his homeland, marched into Babylon in chains. No crown, no title, no freedom. Faith, only a quiet, unwavering devotion to his God. The city that enslaved him, Babylon, was the greatest empire on earth. Its walls touched the sky, its kings ruled like gods. But inside those palaces, fear whispered louder than power. God's people were scattered, exiled and afraid. And miracles, a distant memory.
One night a dream shook the king. It terrifies me. Tell me what I dreamed and what it means, or you all die.
Magicians trembled, wise men cried. No one knew. But in the shadows Daniel knelt. Reveal what no man can see. He prayed. Not for my sake, but so they may know. There is a God in heaven. He stood before the throne, knowing one mistake meant death. Are you able to tell me the dream? The king demanded. Daniel's voice did not shake. No man can, but there is a God who reveals mysteries. Gasps filled the hall. The silence was sacred. He spoke the dream. He spoke the truth. He risked everything. Because obedience is not safe, but it is holy. If you do not act, the words of the prophets echoed. Deliverance will come from elsewhere, but you will lose what was meant for you. That night, Daniel wasn't just a servant. He became a vessel, a spark of light in a city of idols. But destiny had only begun to stir. The lions waited. The laws would be written, and the war between kingdoms, seen and unseen, was drawing near. The royal throne room shimmered with golden light, but the air was heavy. Daniel stood before the king, the weight of a nation pressing upon his shoulders. One wrong word, and death would claim him. But his eyes were steady. King Nebuchadnezzar leaned forward, his voice a mixture of curiosity and command.
You claim to speak for a God greater than mine. Then speak. What did I see in the night?
Daniel bowed his head.
Not because of any wisdom in me, O king, but there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries.
As he spoke, the court fell into silence. Daniel described the dream with exact detail. The statue, its head of gold, the chest of silver, legs of iron, feet of clay. He revealed its meaning. Kingdoms would rise and fall, but one eternal kingdom would crush them all. Nebuchadnezzar rose to his feet, stunned.
Truly, your God is the God of gods.
Daniel was elevated, from exile to counselor, from servant to voice of divine wisdom. But peace is short-lived in kingdoms built on pride. Years passed. A new king rose, Darius. With him, jealous officials who hated Daniel's favor. He prays 3 times a day to his God, they whispered.
Let us trap him with his own faith.
They proposed a decree. For 30 days, no one may pray to any god or man except the king. Anyone who disobeys shall be thrown into the lion's den. Darius, flattered and blind to the plot, signed the law. Daniel heard the decree. He walked to his window, opened it toward Jerusalem, and knelt. "O God of my fathers," he whispered, "I will not hide." They burst into his room, arrested him, dragged him before the king. Darius's face fell.
Daniel, servant of the living God, why?
Daniel looked up. Because faith cannot bow to fear. The king tried to undo the decree, but law bound even the ruler. That night, as stars shimmered above Babylon, Zrenia Daniel was cast into the lion's den. The stone rolled shut. Silence reigned. Darius could not eat, could not sleep. His heart was torn. At dawn, he ran. "Daniel, servant of the living God, is your God whom you serve continually able to deliver you?" From the dark came a voice.
O king, live forever.
Darius fell to his knees. Daniel emerged, untouched. "My God sent his angel," he said, "and shut the mouths of the lions." The plotters were punished. Justice was swift, and Darius proclaimed to all peoples, nations, and languages,
Peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree. In every dominion of my kingdom, men must fear the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, enduring forever.
Daniel, once a prisoner, had changed an empire. Not with weapons, not with armies, but with prayer, with truth, with faith, because the battle was never his. It was the Lord's. When the lions roared, heaven answered with silence that shook the world. Daniel lived the rest of his days with honor, wisdom, and reverence. Kings came and went, but Daniel remained, a servant of the Most High God. He walked through fire, faced beasts, stood before kings, and never wavered. In his old age, he sat by his window once more, looking toward Jerusalem. His voice trembled with age, but not with doubt. "Daniel, I have seen empires rise and fall, but the true king has not yet come." He began to write, words that burned into history. Visions of beasts, kingdoms, a stone not cut by human hands. A promise that one day, the Son of Man would come. Daniel whispers.
He will reign forever and ever.
His final words were not of fear, but of faith. "Oh, Daniel."
Choose now, who will you serve?
Years passed, kingdoms crumbled, but Daniel's words echoed through time, foretelling the arrival of the Messiah. This is not just history, this is a mirror. This is not just history, this is a mirror. Today, like then, darkness surrounds us. Today, like then, darkness surrounds us. And yet, God is never absent, equals, even in silence, even in shadow. God is near. Daniel's legacy is not just one of dreams or lions or kings. It is a call to believe when no one else will, a call to stand when the world bows. His story is not over, because it's also yours. This is not just a Bible film. This is a call to return. The lions' mouths were closed, but the true silence was not in the den. It was in the hearts of kings, rulers who had seen armies tremble, but never witnessed a man stand firm without sword or shield. Daniel didn't conquer with power. He conquered with faith. He didn't leave behind an empire. He left behind a question. Whom will you serve when your life is on the line? Generations passed, kingdoms fell, but the words of Daniel still echo. The Most High rules over the kingdoms of men, and he is coming again. And now, it is no longer Daniel's story, it's yours.